action under the lights tonight, Friday, November 2nd, 2012. It is the Edgewood Cougars from Trenton against the Cincinnati Winton Woods Warriors. I'm John Palmer along with Mitch Mays, and Mitch, go or go home.
Yes, and I like what you just said, JP. Win or go home. And you know the history of these teams right here. Winton Woods not had a whole bunch of luck against Edgewood in the past, but you never know. The paper said today Edgewood was supposed to go home tonight, but like you said, JP, you have to play the games.
Winton Woods trails in this series of Edgewood 0-2. This is their third matchup. Edgewood won the first meeting in 2006, 28-21. They won in 2007, 27-26. Mitch got 4 keys to the game. Biggest thing, the battle of the trenches.
Well, I like what you said right there, JP. Normally, whoever wins up front normally wins a football game, and if you can establish a dominance up front, then you have a very good chance of winning this football game tonight.
Ball protection. We've seen it before. Winton Woods has lost 3 games. Every game has had 2, 3, or more turnovers.
Yeah, and like you said, that's the ghost of their past right there, JP. When they lose the turnover battle, they normally lose the football game. And right now they have a chance to right this ship tonight. Take care of the football tonight. Keep it under control. And like they said, they have a good chance of winning tonight.
Whenever your offense turns over the ball, you put your defense in a pickle. Third key, defense, defense, defense.
Well, right there, if your defense can come out and get off the football field on third downs, and that helps your offense, and also gives them a chance to rest. But like you said, JP, there's no tomorrow for these teams, so like win or go home.
And again, we said trenches, but the biggest thing that may win this game, if the trenches and the defense are both even, special teams.
Well, that's another key right there, JP. You want to have the upper hands on the special team. You want to try to do something to help your offense by a turnover or a block punt, something to change the momentum of the game.
This is Edgewood's 11th tournament appearance. They made it to the state semis, is the furthest they've made it. Both times they beat Winton Woods in the regular season. They went to the regional tournament, but they never made it to the regional finals. We are ready for kickoff, and it looks like Winton Woods' Robbie Lewis kicking to the Edgewood Cougars, and this Edgewood crowd, we are on the Edgewood side tonight. We're usually in the booth. You're going to hear them a lot because we are right on top of them.
Well, like you said, JP, you look at the following of the Edgewood crowd right now, and that's what you need. So it makes them feel like they're at home. But on the other hand, Winton Woods has to come out. They're playing at home today, and they have to establish some kind of dominance on the defense and the offensive end to take care of this Edgewood team.
Back to receive for the Cougars, A.J. Perrat and David Jones. Edgewood has packed this stand. Winton Woods, about half full. You know, that's one thing I've noticed with Winton Woods. If they think it's going to be an easy game, if they think it's going to be not that good a game, they don't show up. Edgewood shows up at every game.
Well, and that shows you some true fans right there, JP. Not to say Winton Woods fans are not, but hey, this is playoff time, and I'm kind of sad to see that Winton Woods side is not packed. But hey, like we said, JP, you have to play the football game.
Robbie Lewis has a great boot on him. He gets lots of touchbacks.
And that can also help your team if you can put the ball on the end zone on the kickoff.
Boots it into the end zone. So Edgewood will start 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard lines. There's an advantage kicking in the end zone. You can't run it back.
Yeah,
A.J. Perret leads the Cougars with 332 yards over 12 kickoff returns, average of 27 yards per kickoff return.
You know what, JP, and that's one of the rules I would like the Ohio guys that make the rule to look at. You know, let the guy maybe run it out at his discretion, you know. I mean, that can put some excitement back into football. I know they're concerned about safety, but, hey, that's part of the game.
Yep. So here we are. Let's begin this Battle of the Trenches regional quarterfinal action. Division II, Region 8. Quarterback for the Cougars, number 1, Eric Pelfrey. He'll have Matt Barger in the fullback. Pelfrey back. Gives it to number 8, A.J. Perrat. He's got some room. He'll get the first down. Picks up about 11 or 12 yards. 1st and 10 for the Cougars at their 32.
I like the way they came out in that pistol, JP, and you can see right there they had trips right, and they went to the underneath guy who's normally wide open on that pass pattern. You know, and what he's doing on that play is he's reading that outside linebacker, the outside linebacker would have went with the underneath guy, then he would have threw it to the slot guy sitting down into the seams.
Edgewood. Again, out of the pistol. The give is to Barger. Barger gets through him. He's got a hole on the right side, and he's brought down. Fumble, ball loose, but it goes out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Brought down by that looked like number 18, Daniel Cage.
And right now, JP, one of the keys that's going on, as you said, the battle of the trenches. And right now, on the first two plays from the center line of scrimmage, Edgewood is dominating the line of scrimmage.
This is where Wentwood's secondary needs to be alert and on it.
Well, right now, they done passed the ball and ran the ball, so they definitely mixing it up. So right now, they got Winton Woods guessing.
Belfry takes the snap, gives it to Barger. Barger goes up on the left side, and he'll pick up about 2 or 3 yards at midfield.
And that's what you like to do right there, JP. And anytime you can get 2 or 3 yards on the first carry, that bodes well for you on second down. Gives you a 2nd and 5 or a 2nd and 6, and you can do multiple things.
Edgewood crowd quiet for now. They won't be for long.
No, especially if Edgewood keeps this up.
2nd and 7 on the Winton Woods 49-yard line. Edgewood just inside Warrior territory. David Jones in the slot. And flags on the play.
So what we have, a little delay game? Or?
Yeah, walking it back, a 5er.
That's exactly what we have, delay game on Edgewood.
So the first penalty
right there
goes against Edgewood.
Yeah, the Edgewood was moving real well. You don't like to have those on a positive drive.
Edgewood coming into the season, 34 penalties for 315 yards.
Well, now's not the time to start having these penalties in the playoffs because, like we said, you win or you go home.
Belfry, back to pass, under pressure, sacked in the backfield for a loss, down to the 38-yard line, driven back, and that is where Wentwood's defense puts that pressure on.
Right there, Winton Woods brought a delayed blitz right there, and unfortunately for Edgewood, they was able to recover that fumble. Now, right now, Winton Woods is smelling blood, so you might see a lot of blitzes coming on this next play right here, JP. It's 3rd and forever, and Winton Woods likes to use that speed.
3rd and about 20.
And right now, it looks like Winton Woods is going man-to-man, and, there's no one in the middle of the field. I was surprised Edgewood didn't take advantage of that.
Barger gets the handoff, stopped at the line of scrimmage, and it looks like we'll see our first punt of the night.
Well, that was a good defensive stand right there from the Warriors, JP. First couple plays, they was giving a big chunks of yards, and they made some adjustment, was able to have Edgewood punt the football.
Zach Griffin, number 36, to punt for Edgewood. Number 6, Mike Edwards, back deep to receive. He'll be on their own 35-yard line. Griffin's kick is up. It's a good kick. Edwards catches it. He'll settle back at the 21-yard line. He'll run the right side. He takes a jink. He'll get some yards. He'll be stopped at the 43 or so yard line.
Yeah, right there, that was some good return right there from the punt returner. But, hey, like I said, I've seen a few blocks in the back, JP, so it's definitely going to be coming back.
This is the thing that has killed Wentwood so many times. They've had big runs like that. They get blocks in the backs, holding calls that pull these big plays back.
Well, and I'm sure the coaches done said to them numbers time, if you can see the number, don't block them. And so right there, Winton Woods didn't heed what the coach was saying.
So with that penalty, that'll ramp up the Edgewood crowd. Winton Woods will have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 22-yard line. Winton Woods' triple option is, let's say it this way, deadly.
Yeah, and I like what they do. They do a number of good plays, misdirection plays, and really
hooks to pass.
Oh,
incomplete.
Right there.
Intended for number 7, Sean Jetter.
Yeah, right there. Jetter was coming free. Hooks just threw it a little bit too early. I thought he had a little time right there, but he just threw it a little bit early right there. And sometimes that's where the quarterbacks get in trouble. They don't let the play develop.
Coming into this game, Winton Woods, 80 attempts, 33 completions, 2 picks in the air.
Yeah, and they're normally a running team. They don't like to really throw the ball a lot.
Hooks keeps it. He's got a hole in the middle. He's free. He's got a block he needs. He's still on his feet. He's at midfield. He's down to the 40, and he is tripped out of bounds at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up for the Warriors.
Nice little pickup from Hooks right there. You know, he made a lot of people miss, so kudos to Mr. Hooks on that play right there. It was just a little read option right there from Winton Woods.
That's what gets a defense in so much trouble.
Yeah, and what Edgewood really have to do is they got to put someone to spy on Mr. Hooks.
Shamar Hooks, under center. Tyler Gist, in the fullback. Nick Grissom. And that'll be handed off to Gist. Gist will pick up about 3 or 4 yards on that, taken down at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's a nice positive play right there from the Warriors. Like I said earlier, anytime you can pick up 4 or 5 yards on the initial carry, that bodes well for 2nd down.
Winton Woods, over the 10 games of the season, got an average of 5 yards per rush.
You know, and that's good because that makes 2nd down that much better for you.
Hooks under center. Gives to Gist. Gist has room up the middle. He's still on his feet and wrapped up, taken down at the 6-yard line.
Right there, Gist hit the hole really quick right there. Good read right there from Mr. Hooks.
So Warriors take over, still keep possession, 1st and goal on their own 6-yard line. Critical red zone chance here. Grissom with it on the outside and makes it in.
Well, you knew that play was coming. That's what they did really well against Middletown earlier in the year when they beat them like 50-something to 7. Right there, that misdirection right there really kills a lot of teams. So we'll see that play at least 3 or 4 more times today, JP.
So Winton Woods goes up 6-0. Robbie Lewis in for the PAT. He's got the wind at his back.
I tell you, JP, that was a great opening drive right there from Winton Woods.
Took less than 2 minutes off the clock,
2 minutes, and they put up 7 quick points, and that's what you like to see. So right now, Edgewood has to come back and answer the Winton Woods drive.
So 7-0. You know, we were here. Waycross was here 2 weeks ago for the Anderson game. Winton Woods received the kickoff. First play from scrimmage. Tyler Gist goes up the middle. Fumble, recovery, Anderson. Winton Woods holds Anderson to not more than a 3 and out, and then scores and takes over the game from there. Winton Woods comes out guns blazing this time.
Yes, they did, JP. That was a great opening drive.
One-score game, though, so still anyone's game. Early days here at Frederick Stadium.
I tell you, what a nice night for football, JP. I mean, the weather's real good. It's not too cold. So, hey, great night for football.
Low forecast to get down to 29 tonight, just below freezing. But, you know, we got about an hour or two before it gets there. But great night for football. A.J. Pierrette, David Jones back to receive Robbie Lewis's 2nd kickoff of the night. Let's see if he can boot it into the end zone again. Kick is up, and again, touchback. So Edgewood will take over again, 1st and 10 from their own 20. They got that long field again.
Yes, and that was a great kick right there from the Warriors kicker, JP. Anytime you can use that as a weapon like they're doing, you're going to use it.
You know, Winton Woods, 5 of the 10 teams they played in the regular season qualified for this year's state tournament. and one of them is the #1 seed in Division III.
Yes, and right there, that says a lot about how good Winton Woods is this year.
They gave Elder a run for their money. Flags on the play.
And right there, as a coach, you really hate to see that because all your defenders really need to do is watch the football. And unfortunately for Winton Woods, they was not watching the football.
So that'll be a penalty on Edgewood.
Wow, that surprised me.
First and 15. I thought it was offsides on or encroachment on the Warriors.
So did I. Evidently, the referee seen something a little different than what we seen, JP.
Well, and you know what tipped me to it? I saw one Woods player look a little frustrated, make some frustrated motion.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Edgewood stuffed only about an extra yard or two, not even back to the initial line of scrimmage. I believe that was Matt Barger on the carry. Mike Edwards on the tackle.
Tell you what, Winton Woods' defenses came to play early in this game, JP. Initially, Edgewood got a first and second down drive going on the first possession and was really positive. But ever since then, it's all been back and going the other way.
Pelfrey takes the snap. He'll keep it. Looks back. Passes. Incomplete.
Excellent route right there from Edgewood receiver. He ran a great route. Unfortunately, he just ran out of real estate right there.
Intended receiver on that pass, Mason Beck. 3rd and 13. This Warriors defense will wear you down.
Yes, and, you know, like I said, JP, speed kills, and that's one thing the Warriors do have. They're able to cover a lot of ground and make up for a lot of mistakes.
Eric Pelfrey, quarterback in the pistol again. Matt Barger behind him. And a timeout called by Edgewood. So Edgewood takes the first timeout of the game. 7:02 left in the first quarter. So Mitch, that Winton Woods side of the stand has filled up just a little bit since the game started.
Yes, it has, and that's good to see, JP, because I know they got a great following here at Winton Woods. And normally, when this team's in the playoffs, they're here.
I mean, a quick chat about this Region 8 that Winton Woods is in, Division 2 Region 8. Elsewhere in the region, Tip City Tippecanoe, number 8, playing the #1 Turpin at Turpin High School right now. Whitecross is also covering the Cincinnati Northwest at Franklin game. This is, of course, Trenton Edgewood at Cincinnati Winton Woods. And also going on, just a few miles away in Mount Healthy, Trotwood Madison, the defending state champions in D2, are taking on the Mount Healthy Owls.
Man, I tell you, that's...
And the winner of that game will play the winner of this game.
That's going to be some type of game over there at My Healthy and Trotwood Madison. You got two Thunderbirds really going at it. And also, you think about that Franklin and Northwest football game. You got two really good teams up there with great records, great regular seasons going at it. So, like you said, this Region 8 is loaded.
It is absolutely loaded. And again, whoever wins this game tonight will play on November 10th at a neutral site against either Mount Healthy or Trotwood, the winner of that game. And I guarantee you, if it's against Mount Healthy, wherever it is, will be packed full. Pelfrey takes the snap. He looks back. Airs it out again.
Got a pretty good battle going on downfield.
That was almost picked off. That could have been picked off almost so easily. It falls incomplete. Brings up 4th and 13, and the hands team is back onto the field. Winton Woods will have great field position.
Yes, they would. And one of the things the Warriors are able to do, they got really good press coverage at the line of scrimmage from these cornerbacks, and that makes it extremely tough for some team like Edgewood to really beat them deep because their corners are excellent for the Warriors.
Jarrell Foster and Chaz Lumpkin, the cornerbacks for Winton Woods. Mike Edwards right at the midfield line to receive Zach Griffin's punt.
And here they come. They got it off really quick.
That'll take a Winton Woods bounce.
Oh, lucky for Winton Woods.
And so Winton Woods will take it for 1st and 10 on the Edgewood 46. You know, 2 weeks ago we were at the Anderson game. Anderson got 2 scores. Winton Woods blocked both point afters. That hands team defense of Winton Woods, that'll stop you real quick.
Yeah, I tell you, speed kills, and they're able to get good penetration like that to block two-point answers. That's telling a lot about speed right there, JP.
And, part of that is that conditioning and training legacy that Coach Everhart left and built up here.
Yes, it is.
Shamar Hooks, under center, keeps it. That's almost a little miscommunication with Giz, but Hooks has room on the right side. He's at the 10. He will be taken out of bounds at the 5 or 6 yard line. Shamar Hooks and Gist were holding on to the ball together. Hooks retracted it back, ran around the outside. He was scot-free.
Hey, great read right there for Mr. Hooks right there. He gave it right there to Gist. Gist didn't want to get it back. Mr. Hooks had to take it from him and go about 40 yards down there.
I was afraid that was a bit of a mistake.
Yeah.
But, hey, if you get 20-plus yards out of it, I don't think it's that big of a mistake.
I tell you right now, the Warriors are clicking on all cylinders right now, JP.
Yes, sir. Hooks again, under center. He'll keep it. He's got room to the right side, punches it in, touchdown, Shamar Hooks.
I tell you right there, JP, he could have either gave it to Gist, but he chose to keep it himself and was able to walk right in.
13-0 in favor of the Warriors. I was kind of expecting this to be a little closer at the start, but this is not the game I was expecting it to be yet.
Well, JP, like they said earlier, the newspaper said Winton Woods was going to come out here and should win this game. But, hey, Winton Woods came out here early. They didn't take anything for granted, and they are playing extremely hard, and they're taking it to Edgewood right now.
So with 6:31 left, Robbie Lewis puts up that PAT, 14-zip. If you're Scott Clemens, the Edgewood coach, this is his first year as head coach of the squad, what are you telling your team right now?
Well, right now you're just telling your team, hey, we just get it back a little at a time. Don't try to go for the big play. Let's get some drives and establish ourselves and try to pick some points up now. You don't need to try to get it all right back right now, but just take it one play at a time.
But again, getting time to go or go home.
Yes, it is. And right now, like you said, JP, it's still early in the first quarter, 6:31 to go. Hey, there's time to really try to get your game going if you're Edgewood.
With running teams, you expect the games to go really quick, but the clock doesn't run if you score.
That's right. And I tell you what, Winton Woods is running the football, so they're doing their job. Edgewood's just not stopping them.
Once again, A.J. Pierrette and David Jones back deep to receive Robbie Lewis's kick. If it lands anywhere except the end zone, that is.
I tell you right now.
2 for 2 on touchbacks.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. Can it be 3 for 3 here?
That's another good kick. And once again, perfect so far.
So far, you use the weapons that you have, and that's one of the weapons.
Two plays, 46 yards, that scoring drive. Only 2 plays, but when you get half of that yardage plus on one play, it makes it kind of easy, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And right now, the Warriors are flying around all over the field on defense.
Pelfrey, that give is to Pierrette. He'll pick up about a yard on that play.
Tell you, that was a great tackle from the Warriors. If not for that tackle, he would have still been running. Rankin made a great play on that defensive stop because if he hadn't got his legs, he would have still been running.
That's a problem we've seen before with Winton Woods. They've had problems getting proper tackles. They've been trying these shoelace tackles that don't always work, but they seem to have corrected that a little bit. Belfry. Is this another delay of game perhaps, or a jump? False start is the call on the Cougars. That'll back them up 5 yards.
It looks like the Cougars are shooting themselves in the foot right now, JP. I mean, penalty after penalty. This is not a good way to try to get back into the football game.
How many times have we seen Winton Woods have that
Well,
issue?
we've seen Winton Woods shoot themselves also, but right now it's the playoffs, and the Cougars are really killing themselves.
Belfry takes the snap. He'll keep it. The give is to Pierrette. Pierrette has room. He'll get up to the 25-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and about 5.
Great play to sign right there from the Cougars.
if you're Winton Woods, do you want to let them run the clock a little bit while you're up? But
Well, right now, that's playing in the Warriors' hand. It's taking them a long time to try to get these drives together, and the clock is on the move. So, hey, anytime you can keep them in their field position and the clock moving, you're doing a good job.
Pierrette gives to David Jones. He's got room. He's got a first down and then some. He'll be taken out of bounds by a host of Warriors, including, it looks like, Chaz Lumpkin.
Great misdirection right there from the Cougars.
Excuse me, Stephon Rogers also on that.
Great burst of speed right there from David Jones.
Once again, Edgewood back into Warrior territory. 5:01 left in the second quarter. He got out of bounds, so that'll stop the clock, helping Edgewood a little bit. Pelfrey in the pistol. He'll keep it. He'll give it to Jones. Jones stopped at the line of scrimmage. Looks like they'll spot him with an extra yard on that, though, so they'll bring up 2nd and 9 at the Warrior 47-yard line.
And it looks like the Warriors are setting in a 3-4 defense with those fast four linebackers really shooting the gap. So Edgewood is trying to counter that with a lot of misdirection and trapping going on, and it's starting to be a nice little battle up front, JP.
Yes, sir. Here we go. 3rd and 9. 2nd and 9, excuse me. There's Barger. Barger's got room the right side, and he'll be taken out of bounds at the 31-yard line. First down, Edgewood.
And this is what the Edgewood needs to keep on doing, JP. Running the football. Don't try to get it all back in one play. Continue to do what they do best, is run the ball up front and try to get some points on the board.
4:19 now left. Pelfrey in the pistol. The give is to Pierrette. Pierrette makes room on the left side, but stuffed for a yard or two loss. Looks like they'll spot him at the 35-yard line, so a 4-yard loss on that brings up 2nd and 14.
Right there, David Long, I believe it was, shot the gap right there for the Warriors and was able to make a great play.
Two downs and 13 yards. Pelfrey gives to Barger. Barger once again stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Well, what you see, they're right now in 4-down territory, JP. So they try to see if they can get something with their run, and they got 2 downs to try to pick up 13 yards.
3rd and 13 now for the Edgewood Cougars. Clock ticks down, 3:12 and counting left in the first period. Pelfrey with Barger in the fullback. Looks like he's going to try to air this one out under heavy pressure. Incomplete, intended for number 22, David Jones.
And what they're trying to do, they're trying to bring the inside slot to the outside, which is a great design. And what he's doing, he's reading the outside linebacker. So if the outside linebacker goes out with that inside receiver, then he's going to throw the slant to the slot guy. Right here, it looks like the Cougars are going to try to punt the football. Right now, it's a field position game right there for the Cougars.
Zach Griffin back to punt here on 4th and 13. Mike Edwards on his own 10-yard line. Bad snap, blocked by the Warriors. Here's a scramble for the ball. Winton Woods picks it up, and Winton Woods will take over at midfield. That was number 29, Stephen Thompson, the outside linebacker, coming in with the scoop.
Yeah, great play right there. Like you said earlier before the start of the game, where's special teams going to be at? And right now, they reared their head right there for the Warriors, JP.
So here you're Edgewood thinking, okay, we're going to pin them back deep in their own territory. Oh, wait, bad snap.
Yeah, and what happened right there, I don't think it was that bad of a snap. He just mishandled it, JP, and dropped it a little bit, and by the time he picked it up, the rush was there.
So Shamar Hooks the junior quarterback, and his offense now back onto the field.
Right now, the Cougars need a big stop because I can tell you if the Warriors were able to get some points right here, it's going to be extremely difficult for the Cougars to get back in the game.
Keeps it, runs the right side. He's got a hole. He's free. He's to the 20. He's got the block he needs. Shamar Hooks is in.
I tell you right now, Shamar Hooks is doing what he wants to do out there, JP, and the Cougars have no answer for Mr. Hooks right now.
A 52-yard rush.
I tell you, JP, the Warriors are clicking on all cylinders. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. Right now, you know, you look at that 3 for 3, that's 100% right now. So, hey, if the
That's
Cougars
what you want to see if you're Coach Andre
yes,
Parker.
it is. If the Cougars don't find how to stop these Warriors, every time they get the ball, it's going to be 7 points.
Robbie Lewis's kick is up, and he puts it through the uprights. 21 zip.
And I tell you, JP, it's 2:43 to go in the first quarter, and the Warriors are clicking.
On all 12 cylinders.
Yes, they are.
It's not just a V8 or a V10, it's a V12. We got a Lambo here.
I tell you what, they're looking like NASCAR out there, JP.
No laundry on the field for them yet. Maybe one, but nothing. That one that pulled that punt back, but guess what? The very next play they scored anyway.
Yeah, and I tell you, you know, it's like a good old recording artist. Everything they touch turns to gold, and that's what the Warriors are doing tonight. Every time they touch the football, it's turning into gold for them.
So with 2 minutes and 43 left, Robbie Lewis gets ready for his 4th kick. See if he can put this back in the back of the end zone again. So Robbie Lewis gets that kick up. And once again
in the end zone.
Touchback. So Edgewood once again, well, they're familiar with their starting place on the field.
Yes, the 20.
So 1st and 10 for these Cougars led by A.J. Pierrette. You know, before the game, when I was here for setup and everything, an Edgewood fan came in fairly early. He was the only one here. I was chatting to him for a few minutes. It was even before the teams got out onto the field. You know, he said that this is Edgewood's 3rd coach in 3 years, 3rd head coach in 3 years. So all of these seniors have had 3 different coaches through their careers at Edgewood at the varsity level. Pelfrey stopped for a loss of about 4 yards.
It looks like there was a mix-up in the backfield for the Cougars.
That's exactly what it looked like. He was going to go one way, jink the other way, and try to go back the other way. By that time, oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to go somewhere, sir?
Yeah, the Cougars really need to try to settle down right now and try to answer the Warriors' 3 scores.
When you're down by 3 scores this early in the game, that rattles you, doesn't it?
Yes, it does a little bit, JP. But like you said, if you're going to get down by 3 scores, getting down early is the time to do it where you have time to get back into the game.
Pelfrey on the give to Pierrette. Pierrette picks up about 3 or 4 yards. Back to, looks like they'll spot us at the 21-yard line, so that'll bring up 3rd and 9. Clock ticks down, minute 45 left in the first period. Third down, 9 yards to the line to gain. Pelfrey takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He'll look for a pass. And almost picked off.
I believe it
was that
picked
almost?
off.
I think it was.
Yes, it was.
Yep. Winton Woods, turnover on a pick. I didn't see who that was. Might have been David Long. I saw him with his fist in the air. So, best starting field position so far for the Warriors. But hey, doesn't matter. They've scored from every starting point.
They score from everywhere on the field tonight, and I don't think this drive's going to be any different.
So Shamar Hooks comes back. Hooks on the pitch to Grissom. Nick Grissom has room on the right side. He'll be taken down. First down and goal at the 9-yard line coming up for the Warriors.
Great design play right there from the Warriors. Was able to pick up a lot of positive yards right there.
I think that is the single deadliest weapon in Winton Woods' arsenal, that pitch out to Nick Grissom.
Yes, it is. And I tell you, anytime you can give him the ball on the pitch, dangerous things are going to happen.
Hooks under center, checks his play card on his wrist.
I think we see a little misdirection. Well,
it gives it to Gist. Tyler Gist gets around the outside into the end zone. Tyler Gist gets his first score of the night.
I tell you, the Warriors are running extremely hard, JP. I mean, Gist hit that hole running like a locomotive. He wasn't going to be denied on that play. $27-0. Robbie Lewis kick is up, and that one splits the uprights. $28-0. I don't think anyone was going to expect it to be this much of a blowout so early. No, you didn't, JP. And one of the things, you know, you was thinking the Warriors might have a little letdown today because everybody thought they was going to win, but no, they're coming out clicking on all cylinders. It's fourth time they had the football, and they've scored 4 times.
You know, all the times I've talked to Coach Andre Parker, he doesn't want his team to overlook any game. I know some of the pundits on the internet forums and everything were thinking Winton Woods may have been overlooking. I don't think Coach Parker will let them overlook this year, especially with the schedule they've had to play.
No, he wouldn't. It looks like the Warriors are, you know, they're on top of their football game tonight. They playing, they're hitting the insides, the outside. And like you said early in the game, JP, they're dominating up front.
Just looking for some scores real quick. You're not in through 2 quarters. Turpin up 19-0 over Tip City. Northwest and Franklin tied. I'm not sure what point of the game they're at, as that is another touchback. And actually a later score update posted not too long ago. Franklin 21, Northwest 14.
Whoa, that's a surprise. Anything on that Trotwood Mount Healthy?
I did not see anything yet on the Trotwood Mount Healthy. I will look here after a little bit.
I tell you what, that's a game that a lot of people really wanted to see. Mount
Yes,
Healthy
sir.
and Trotwood.
Yeah, Mount Healthy's been playing the last 2 weeks without one of their biggest players. Once again, Edgewood. Pelfrey tries to go up the middle. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll give him the forward up to that point.
Yeah, and right now Edgewood is trying to just really stop the bleeding, get out of this quarter, go move to quarter number 2, see if they can do some different things. But right now, you know, they're trying to run the clock out in the first quarter. So, hey, you know, you don't want to get a ball right back to the Warriors because they're scoring from everywhere on the field.
Yes, sir. If you're Coach Parker, when do you put Christian Lumpkin, your backup quarterback, in? Get him some time again.
Well, I mean, it's early in the first half, JP. You may want to give him some reps, maybe in the third quarter, something like that. But right now, your offense looks like they have some continuity. So you want to see if they can continue this.
Ball was given to number 5, Xavier Arroyo. No gain. 3rd and 10 as we come towards the quarter break. Aaron Smith was on the stop on that play, and we'll let the quarter expire. After 1 quarter, Winton Woods leads 28-0. Edgewood will take over at the start of the second quarter, 3rd and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Once again, you're watching Waycross Community Media's coverage of OSHAA Division II Region 8 quarterfinal football. It's the Trenton Edgewood Cougars at the Cincinnati Winton Woods Warriors. Jonathan Palmer and Mitch Mays along with you. You know, some of you may be missing some of the features we usually have at a Waycross game. Our production truck that has all those fancy features that we get to work with day in and day out is at the Northwest Franklin game. We're here with our secondary piece of equipment, TriCaster. It's a great piece of equipment, but you know what? We've got 2 split crews. We need people. If Northwest wins, they're playing a different team than Winton Woods is, so we'll probably do split crews again. If you want to get involved and help us cover those, we need the help. 513-825-2429. I'd like to thank Brett, our director over there running the TriCaster, for paying attention and taking into that fact I was going to lead that into a volunteer.
Hey, and one of the things that shows you, JP, is that they go anywhere, anytime to cover the football game.
You know, to derail from football real quick, you know, OHSA has now added a team wrestling tournament separate from the individual wrestling tournament. That's going to be a month earlier than the individual tournament. Waycross is going to go up there to Columbus and cover that in the first weekend of February. First weekend of March is the big show up at Schottenstein Center. So we're going to have at least 2 trips to Columbus. If any of our basketball teams get that far, we could be going up there for some tournament basketball.
Now you're talking, JP. Anytime you get a chance to make a trip to Columbus for anything, you really want to go.
Get involved. We can usually, not only do we have basketball coming up, but we've got some couple of wrestling shoots, and school concert season is in high action right now. You know, action is starting to cool down in the high school football realm as teams get eliminated, but winter sports season is about to hot up real quick.
Yes, and we love basketball season, JP.
Oh, yes. I know we'll have a Northwest and Finneytown game. We've got a couple Winton Woods Coleraine games coming up here before the year's out.
Yes, we do, and I tell you, I'm looking forward to that Northwest and Finneytown basketball game on December the 1st.
Pelfrey gives it to A.J. Pierrette. He's got some roomies on his feet, and he'll get out of bounds at the 35-yard line, still in their own territory, but they'll get the first down that they needed.
Yes, they did, and they needed that one to keep the ball out of the Warriors' hand. They just came with a nice little jet sweep right there. JP was able to pick up about 9 or 10 yards for the first down.
So that ball will be spotted on the 34-yard line. 1st and 10, all the same, for Edgewood.
Yeah, and what Edgewood needs to do is they really need to try to shorten this football game now. Put some points on the board and keep the ball out of the Warriors' hands.
Pelfrey back to pass, under pressure. No man's land, sacked. Lost back to the 28, 27-yard line.
Well, anytime the Warriors get a chance to show off that speed, they're going to bring some linebackers at you on the blitz, so you have to be ready for them if you're the Cougars.
That was the house.
Yeah, they brought the house right there, and the Cougars, they had a couple guys up in pass patterns, but like I said, the Warriors do a great job of disguising their coverages, and so they was able to confuse the Cougars right there.
One thing I've noticed all the time from Winton Woods, they don't like to let you hesitate. If you hesitate, you might as well just fall down anyway.
Yes, that's true, JP.
So again, Eric Pelfrey back in the pistol. That's a give to Matt Barger. He'll pick up about 8 or 10 yards on that. They'll mark him at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, and one of the things the Cougars are really doing well, JP, is they're running the ball up the middle really well, but sometimes that just stymies their offense, and they have to try to throw the football, and they get in trouble, and they have to punt the ball to the Warriors, which deems a little bit more trouble.
10.5 left in the second quarter of play. 3rd down, 6 yards to go to the line of game. Pelfrey gives to, that looked like David Jones. He will lose 2 yards on that play. And the hands team back on the field.
And it looks like the Warriors are going to get pretty good field position once again.
You know, that last punt that Edgewood tried, we were saying good position. They end up with great field position.
Yes, and, and Mr. Edwards is back there, and he's going to try to make a lot of good things happen.
We know he can. He just needs to rely on the rest of his team to not get one of those cheap holding or blocking the back calls. That kick is up and off this time. Edwards, it takes a Cougar bounce, and that will roll out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So Winton Woods takes over 1st and 10 on their own 17-yard line.
Yeah, that was a good decision right there from Edwards to let the ball go because it looked like he was under a lot of stress trying to catch the ball. So good decision right there for the Warriors. Right now, the Cougars really need to try to get the ball right now. They need to try to make a stop right here and stop the Warriors or really stop the bleeding.
Every time the Warriors have touched the ball this game, they have popped it into the end zone.
Yes, they
4
have.
possessions, 4 scores. I don't think you can ask for anything better as a coach.
If you're Parker, you got to be extremely happy because everything they're doing seems to be extremely positive.
Round the outside, picks up several yards.
You know, they're picking up 7, 8 yards a pop, so that's really good. So, you know, you really don't have to really do anything out of ordinary if you're the Warriors right now. You're up 28-0. You know, just work on some things that you're going to do for next week.
Think of this, though. Winton Woods hasn't had the possession for that long, so their offense isn't working that much.
Well, that's true, and right now they're able to really try to work on some plays, like I said, that they're going to try for next week. You know, because I'm sure Trotwood or My Healthy's got some team scouting.
Here's Nick Grissom. He's got room to run. He busts a tackle. He's got free to the end zone. 30, the 20, down to the 10. One more to beat. He's knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Nick Grissom busts it nearly to the house.
And you know that play I told you earlier, JP, you're going to see that a couple times right there. If I'm Winton Woods right now, I would not run that play anymore because I know My Healthy and Trotwood's here scouting. So I do not want them to see that play anymore because every time they run that play, it's 40, 50 positive yards. So I'm putting that on a burner right now because I do not want Trotwood or My Healthy to see that play anymore today.
Keep it on the hot plate. Don't let it leave the kitchen. Hooks under center. He'll just push that up the middle. Touchdown, Winton Woods. You know, Mitch, I'm going to have to think of other ways to say that.
Well, you're going to have a lot of time to come up with some things to try to say right there because Winton Woods is on a roll. And like you said, when you're going to see the backup players, I think we'll start seeing them here in the next few minutes.
Yep. Robbie Lewis to try and keep his perfect streak of PATs tonight, and he does. 35-zip.
Well, what can you say, JP? The Warriors are clicking on all cylinders. They're looking good right now. I mean, everything they do works for them. So if you coach Parker, you're extremely happy right now.
Yes,
so
sir.
Like I told you, JP, I will not show that play or run that play anymore today if I'm Winton Woods because Trotwood or My Healthy is going to be looking for that play next week.
Do you think they'll be able to stop it, though, even if they have seen it?
Well, I don't think they'll be able to stop it because the same play we're seeing tonight is the same play that worked great against Middletown early in the season. Every time they ran that play, they got 30 or 40 yards. So eventually teams are going to have to start trying to look out for tendencies to see how they can stop that play.
You know, every team Winton Woods has played this year, they have had a chance to win, even against that big GCL powerhouse called Elder.
Yeah, well, Elder's they're on their way back right now. They had a couple down years after they had that great run, but now they're on their way back, and I think the Warriors are on their way back also.
3 years removed from their state run, that dominant 2009 squad. And you know, most of these players on the Winton Woods team will be back next year, so this could be setting that up.
Well, that'd be a good thing because I'm sure they would like to taste that trophy again.
A.J. Purett and David Jones back deep to receive Robbie Lewis's kick. He's kicking into a light wind. Yeah, the Winton Woods marching bands are going to get tired of playing the fight song pretty soon, you would think.
Well, you can see these loyal fans of Edgewood are still rooting their team on despite being down 35-0.
Lewis kick is off, and again, touchback. Edgewood, as I say it for the umpteenth time tonight, will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. .8:46 left in the half. You know, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the Edgewood locker room.
So would I tell you, because it's going to be some things flying in there at halftime, JP. But, you know, one of the things is, like you said, it's early in the game. You know, if you're Edgewood, just try to get back one play at a time. Don't try to get it all back, because, like Winton, they scored 35. Edgewood can come out and just start dominating.
They could.
And also put up some points.
Behind the line of scrimmage, number 22 for Edgewood, David Jones, picks up about a yard on that.
Excuse me, JP. And one of the things that you're seeing right now is the quicker, faster Warriors. They're everywhere tonight. I mean, they're shooting the gaps, and Edgewood doesn't really have anything to try to stop them right now.
Clock ticks to 8:20 left in the half. 2nd and 9 for Edgewood from their own 21-yard line. Pelfrey takes the snap, fumbles it, and he'll fall on it. Smart move there. Loss of 6 or 7 on that fumble. Just couldn't handle it.
I tell you right now, JP, the Warriors are looking like sharks. I mean, they're just circling and circling and circling. And normally, if you're at the beach and you see some sharks, you don't want no part of them. And that's what it looks like the Cougars are right now. They don't want no part of the Warriors tonight.
You know, it's one of those times where if you're Coach Clemens, when you get a chance, do you take your QB aside, or do you call a timeout to put your QB aside and your whole team to remind them, help them keep their head in this game?
Well, and he's going to be able to do a whole lot of that in 7 minutes. He's just trying to get to halftime right now so he can get his team in the locker room and settle them down.
Timeout, Edgewood. Here's that timeout we may have been just talking about.
You're extremely right, JP. I mean, like you said, maybe he just needs to talk to some of his players to get them to settle down a little bit.
Edgewood, 1 timeout left. Winton Woods with all 3. You know, not taking the timeouts doesn't help you because you don't get to take them with you.
Right.
But if you don't need to take them, that's all the better for you. You know, I was in the athletic annex here at Winton Woods before the game, waiting to talk to Coach Parker while the team was in, having a meeting, watching a bit of film before the game. You know, I looked at the door there. They have a piece of paper taped on the door. On it's a picture, you know, the Staples Easy button. So, you know, okay, you're following me right now. Then they have a circle around it, then a cross. Not easy. You know, I was talking to Coach Parker. I said, you know what? You gave me an idea. Someone needs to make a button that when you hit it, says, that was not easy. And I guarantee you it's so big, and I guarantee you there'll be one on every single football sideline.
Yeah, yeah.
So in this timeout, 7:17 left. In the second quarter, 35-0 is our score. You know, once again, everyone, we are on the visitor side. We're usually on the home side, but Time Warner Cable is over on the home side, so we've been bumped to this side. You know, the last time I was here, I was still a student here at Winton Woods back in 2005, before that home side even existed. And that ball pops out in the end zone, and Winton Woods picks it up for a touchdown. That looks like we'll give that to number 10 for the Warriors. Torres Curtis on the fumble recovery. (41-0). Robbie Lewis to try and make it 42-0. Oh no, they're going to go for a 2-point conversion here, but they don't get it. Looks like a flag on the play. holding on Winton Woods.
Will be declined by the Cougars.
So, you know what? When you're up by that much, I don't see any harm in trying for that. Do you think there was a design in there to stop them from scoring?
Well, like you said, no, it was just a bad snap right there, but that's one of the plays or some of the plays you want to start working on if something happens. You know, if you had a little adversity, you know, hey, you know, why not fire? You yell fire, and it didn't seem to work right there for the Warriors.
Edgewood crowd sticking it out. Wintonwood's crowd sticking around for this also. Once again, A.J. Perrette, number 8, and David Jones, number 22, back deep to attend to the touchback kickoff. What do you say have old Robbie Lewis just put in a little old squibber and just spice things up a bit?
Well, right now he's batting 1,000, JP. Why not try to up your average?
There you go.
Yeah,
you can't go any better than 100%.
No, you can't.
Kick is up. And that'll be caught by Perrette on the 1-yard line. He tucks in and he'll run up to 20-yard line. What's the difference?
It'll save a lot of wear and tear on your body if you just take it on the end zone, JP.
There you go. So Edgewood, once again, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. 41-0, 7:02 left.
In the second quarter, you heard JP right.
Yeah.
41-0. Not the fourth quarter, it's the second quarter.
Only marginally a higher score than it was at this point in the Middletown game. Edgewood picks up a yard or two on that play. If you forgive me for not calling that play real quick, I'm just trying to look for some score updates, ladies and gentlemen. Turpin 26, Tip City 3, 5:20 to go in the first half. I still don't see a Mount Healthy score. And a loss of a yard on that play. Third and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Cougars. 5:50 left. Pelfrey gives to Matt Barger, but Barger is stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
And I tell you, JP, the Warriors are everywhere tonight.
That'll bring up 4th and 10.
4th and 10 right here, and the Warriors are looking at some good field position right here.
Mike Edwards once again back deep to handle the punt. You know, if it goes beyond him again, I think he'll just let it roll again, don't you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everything. Oh, man, bad snap.
Bad snap into the end zone, safety. You see that? Instead of just letting him get a touchdown, he gives him a safety.
Well, much rather give up the 2 than the 6, but maybe it's just denying the inevitable for the for the Warriors.
$43-0. 4:54 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, when I
And,
was,
you know, I'm not saying it that way to discredit Edgewood. I'm saying it that way because I can't believe it.
yeah, and I'm the same way, JP. I mean, I just can't believe it. This is a playoff atmosphere, and the Warriors are just clicking tonight. Like I said, everything they touch right now is turning to gold.
They've scored on every possession of theirs and even one that wasn't their possession.
You're exactly right.
So a free kick coming up. You know, the Fort Ancient Valley Conference is no more, but I'm glad their website's still up so I can look at their stats. You know, I'm looking at their postseason run from 2009. 20-yard line, the kick is up. Mike Edwards picks it up at the 28-yard line. He'll run. He's got a hole. He busts through. Is he going to go all the way? He's got two to beat. He's got him beat. Mike Edwards returns the kick for a 72-yard touchdown. No laundry on the field, but we do have an injured player. The injured player is number 15, Ryan Hurst. So 49-0, and we'll have a timeout for an injury. Ryan Hurst on the field. I don't see him moving. Looked like he could have. They're not attending to any part of his body. They're not trying to move him. I wonder if he got his bell rung or some injury. You know, the injury that they really do not fool with is any sort of head and neck injury. You know, we hate to see injuries at any point in the season. Just as I was about to say before that kickoff, you know, Winton Woods in their championship run, they played Ross in round one. They won that game 59-7. And Ryan Hurst is on his feet, very gingerly coming off the field. And he is favoring that left leg. Wouldn't be surprised if it's an ankle injury or some other thing. But, again, we always hate injuries no matter what they are.
No matter what they are,
Any
you
point
hate
of the
to see
season.
a young football player get hurt.
Ryan Hurst, the junior, he is the backup quarterback for this squad. So now, Robbie Lewis to try for PAT. Kick is up, and it's good. 50-0, half century mark. You know, there's always this talk about why does a team run up the score? Why did you run up that score? There's a point where it becomes, what do you expect me to do? Fall over so I don't score? It is also the job of the opposing team to stop them.
And I agree with you, JP. In this day and age, you know, a lot of people say, why do you do this? Why do you do? I think it's more embarrassing for teams to not play against you rather than play, you know. And so, like you said, JP, it's the other team's job is to try to stop you. So you can't pull back the reins now. You just got to let kids play, and this is something you grow from. And I don't think you call it running up the score in the first half if you put up 50.
So Robbie Lewis gets ready to kick off again. That kick is up. A little bit of squibber, and Edgewood takes over 1st and 10 on their own 17-yard line. Excuse me.
Yeah, right now.
4:37, excuse me, left in the first half of play.
Yeah, and right now the Cougars are just, really they just need to try to just play football right now and just try to get some positive things out there on the gridiron right now.
You know, Edgewood did not see a triple option offense or an option offense all season. Looking at some of the forums and talking to the coach, the thing he needed his defense to do is play assignment football. Do you think they have been?
Well, no, not really. I think the defense for Edgewood really hadn't showed up.
Matt Barger, number 20, the fullback, gets about 6 yards on that play, gets about 8 yards on that play. 2nd and 2 for Edgewood on their own 25-yard line. A first down would do Edgewood good right now.
Yeah, yes it would.
Second down, 2 yards to go. Again to Barger, but he is stopped. That's going to be a loss of 2 yards. They'll bring up 3rd and 4 from their own 23-yard line. So 3rd and 4 on the 23-yard line. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the half. 50-0 is the score in favor of the Cincinnati Winton Woods Warriors. Pilfrey out of the pistol takes the snap, and he'll give it to A.J. Purett, who gets nowhere. Loss of about a yard, if a loss of just under a yard. So 4th and 4, and again, the punting team comes on the field.
Yeah, and right there, Winton Woods is just winning at the point of attack right now. I mean, Edgewood is not getting any kind of push whatsoever up front. And they will be punting to the dangerous Mr. Edwards.
Mike Edwards back to receive the punt from Zach Griffin.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to really try to return it. If anything, he's going to probably just call fair catch.
Takes an Edgewood bounce. He'll take it after a hop. He's got room. He'll miss a tackle. He's running a bit east and west. Tries to go north. He's going south. That's the wrong way, but he's going to round the side again and stopped at the 49-yard line, 48-yard line after catching that ball at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, that was a little exciting return right there, JP. We need a little excitement in this game, and that was going from...
Ran some time off the clock, too.
Yeah, going from east to west.
South to further south, back east again. So 1st and 10 for the Warriors from the Edgewood 49. And again, every time Winton Woods has had the ball, they've put points on the board. Hooks. Pass. Picked up. No. Stephen Tucker was on the ground with it.
Yeah, right now, you're going to see the Warriors really try to work on some things right now. Looks like they might be setting up the Cougars for a double pass.
Loss about 4 yards. He was on his knees when he caught it.
Yeah, so I don't quite understand why the clock is stopped on that play, JP.
Yes,
Somebody called timeout?
Or perhaps they thought it was a
incomplete.
I thought it could have been incomplete too, but Hooks gives it to Grissom on that. You said they should stop showing that. Grissom pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. It actually looks like it'll step out of bounds even further down the field. So it looks like they'll spot him at the 27, 28-yard line.
Yes, and right there, you can't ask the kids just not to play. So you got to continue to play, and it's up to the Cougars to try to stop you.
I still say this would have been a great time to put your backup quarterback in.
I agree with
Because, he's gotten better that first time. I saw him play the first time he took a varsity snap as quarterback. It was, let's say it showed that he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And I wasn't at the Loveland game, he actually played in the Elder game because Shamar was a bit. Actually, no, he played in the Loveland game a lot of the Loveland game. Shamar was still coming off a bit of a slightly more than an ankle injury. But I think it's a good bet to get your backup quarterback those reps he needs. So, one, especially in the triple option, that mesh point. You need to have that mesh point ready.
Well, you do, JP. You're exactly right. You gotta have your have to have everybody clicking on all cylinders, and you're exactly right.
Shamar Hooks under center. Hooks pass. Sean Jetter has it, and he's down the 50-yard line, the 49-yard line. And actually, that last play was called back. I missed that. So Grissom was up to third. I guess there was a block in the back or a holding that I had missed while we were chatting. So 3rd and 12 for the Warriors from their own 49-yard line. Minute and a half left in the first half of play. Hooks. Back. Tries a draw. He's still on his feet. Pass is incomplete. Pass intended for Sean Jetter. It's incomplete. But, I'm glad to see Wintonwood's trying these passes just to get a little bit more play in it.
Yeah, and that's what they really need to do. Try to work on some things that they might have to do next week against a good opponent. So, they're going to either have Mount Healthy or Trotwood Madison next week. So.
Yeah, whoever you play, it's going to be a great opponent. It's going to be the defending state champs or your neighborhood rival.
Yes.
That punt is up from Robbie Lewis. Fair catch called. And he'll catch it at the 17 or 18-yard line. So with 1:05 left, Edgewood takes over again, 1st and 10 on their own 17-yard line. So Winton-Woods, that's their first possession they do not score on. But you know what? They didn't need to.
No, they didn't right now. And I expect after this half, we'll see a lot of the younger players finish the game.
You might say in a regular season game that even the losing team would pull out their starters, but not in a playoff game.
No. Anything can happen.
Belfry gets it to Barger. No gain. If anything, a loss of a yard or so.
And the Cougars, JP, they're really just trying to get to halftime.
2nd and 9 from their own 18. And Winton-Woods will start the second half with the ball. 30 seconds left, and this is looking for all intents and purposes to be the last play of the half. Give is to Barger, and he's stuffed at the line of scrimmage, goes nowhere. The clock ticks with 15 seconds and counting left. And no one's hurrying up or anything, and the teams are starting to work their way towards the locker room. So, after one half of play, the Cincinnati Winton-Woods Warriors lead the Trenton Edgewood Cougars by a score of 50-0. It's halftime in Division 2, Region 8 quarterfinals. Stay with us. We'll be back.
Is that thing getting closer? Look how high that thing's going. Look out there. Look at the debris.
Give me the camera.
No, just drive. I've got it.
Zoom in.
I can't believe this is happening.
Oh, the size of that thing.
It's everywhere.
Are you getting this?
Yeah, I've got it. What was that?
It's the National Guard.
How'd they get here so fast?
I don't know.
Pull over. Pull over.
Do you have what it takes to head into the heart of the storm? Check out NationalGuard.com.
Edgewood Cougars coming to the start of the third quarter here at Charlie Frederick Stadium. I am Jonathan Palmer along with Mitch Mays. And Mitch, I think the one word we can use to describe this first half is rout.
Yeah, that's a good word to use right there, JP, is a rout. And one of the things that really, the word that I would also use is wow.
I agree.
Because I tell you, the Warriors are clicking on all cylinders. Edgewood has not been able to get anything going, and everything the Warriors touch is going positive. So, great job by the Warriors, ready to come out and play tonight in the first playoff game.
Halftime stats. First downs, pretty even. Edgewood 5, Winton 6. Rushing attempts and yards, net. Edgewood, 31 attempts, only 59 yards. Winton 12 attempts for 284 yards. 12 attempts, 50 points. Passing attempts, 5, 1 completion, and 1 pick for Edgewood. Winton 2 complete out of 4 attempts. Total yards for Winton 16 plays. 16 plays, Mitch, for 286 yards. Edgewood, 36 plays, only 71 yards. And here is the big tail of the tape. Edgewood, time of possession, 19 minutes, 58 seconds. There's only 24 minutes and a half. Winton has put 50 points on the board, but only holding on to the ball for 4:02.
I tell you, JP, that is astonishing right there. And you think about it, 4 minutes of possession, and you put up 50 points. That's just unbelievable.
It's that pitch out to Grissom that got them 50, 55-yard runs. Shamar Hooks for the QB sneak got 50-plus yards in a 6.
Well, and I tell you, like you said, JP, the time of possession is just amazing. 4 minutes, 50 points. You know, they're dominating at the line of scrimmage. Everything they do tonight is turning into their favor, and they're completely dominating this game.
Shamar Hooks, 6 carries, 151 yards, 3 touchdowns to his credit. Longest carry, 52 yards, average 25 yards. Nick Grissom, 3 carries, 1 touchdown, 96 yards. 73 yards his longest carry, 32-yard average. On the Cougars, Barger, 13 carries for 51 yards, 15 is his longest. And David Jones for the Cougars, 3 carries for 29 yards. Kickoff is a squibber. Winton Woods receives the opening kickoff of the second half, and they'll start 1st and 10 on their own 42-yard line. And Mitch, we were talking about it. Winton Woods has scored from wherever they've been on the field.
I'll tell you, JP, just amazing numbers you just read off. Amazing. You think about it. Edgewood, 19 minutes. And like you said, 24 minutes in the whole first half. And it's just amazing.
Domination.
It's just, words just can't even describe what you just said. 19 minutes possession with no points. 4 minutes of possession with 50 points. Wow.
And we have a new quarterback in, Christian Lumpkin. Backup quarterback. He'll pitch out to Grissom. That takes a bounce. Grissom picks it up. He'll lose a couple yards on that. Back to the 35-yard line, so a 7-yard loss on that bad snap. But, like we were saying in the first half, this is only his third or fourth game start for Christian Lumpkin. He's got to get that mesh point worked out.
Yeah, right there. And what he did, he ran down the line. I didn't think he had great spacing right there between him and Grissom to pitch the football. So that's something they definitely got to work on.
Yes, sir. Some scores in the region, other scores in the region from the other 3 games. Franklin 28, Northwest 21 at halftime. Turpin 21, Tippecanoe 6. And whoever wins this game tonight, which just looks like Winton Woods, will play the winner of this game. And then that score, Trotwood Madison 28, Mount Healthy 0.
That's going to be some type of ball game if it stays like it is between Trotwood and the Warriors. Man, I look forward to that one. I got to make sure I get on this telecast somehow.
Oh, yes. I've already got my name on it, sir. That might be a 3-man booth. You, me, and Jake Williams.
Man, that sounds like a winner. That's a game to watch.
Speaking of winter, I smell those ribs they got downstairs up here in the press box.
You know, JP, I walked by and I said, man, I smell some wings. You know, and I'm thinking they
Those
might
wings,
say,
yeah.
you want some? I didn't hear that, JP, so I kept on going.
Lump getting back to pass, but he's sacked. Ball is loose, picked up by Winton Woods. And he is taken down for a big loss. And the Cougars starting to get a bit pumped up. But with that clock ticking, do you think they have enough time?
No, I don't think they have enough time, JP. Actually, I think time is not on their side tonight.
But again, the only way you can get a backup quarterback as a true backup is to get him game time. I don't care whether it's in a blowout, in a close situation. You want him to make his mistakes in a blowout type situation so he can be ready as best as he can in a tight situation
I agree
as
with
Robbie
you.
Lewis gets the punt off.
Great punt right there. I agree with you, JP. This is time you want your backup quarterback to get some reps, to see where he is in case your number one goes down.
Which he did in the Thurgood Marshall game for a brief while. So, as Edgewood takes over, 62-yard punt. I tell you, Robbie Lewis, he's got a whale of a boot on him.
Robbie Lewis is clicking on all cylinders tonight, the way he's punting and kicking that football tonight, JP.
I was here at the homecoming game. Waycross wasn't, but I was here on a personal activity. There was a storm delay. It was a stormy night. Before delay, the wind had picked up as Pelfrey hands off to Matt Barger, who runs for a couple yards. He'll pick up a couple yards and will be spotted at the other. Anyway, Robbie Lewis, a normal kickoff from the 35-yard line, right? Big tailwind is back, but, okay, get this. Kicks it off. It goes between the far uprights. It doesn't land until on the other side of the fence on the other side of the track.
Wow.
I was up in the press box because I was doing PA for the band at halftime, and all of us kind of looked at each other. That's a field goal, right? Pelfrey gets to Barger. Barger picks up about 5 more yards. Will get him to about the 17-yard line. So Edgewood punching through, and if you're Winton Woods, you don't mind letting them run because as long as they don't get that first down, it doesn't stop the clock.
No, it doesn't stop the clock. And like you said, this is a blowout. You want to get out of the game with nobody hurt. So this is a time for you let them gain some yards.
Third and 3 to go. Pelfrey gives it to number 8, A.J. Pierrat. Pierrat runs, gets a few yards, and a first down. So, be spotted at the 21-yard line. Then they signal for the chains to move. So, first and 10 for the Cougars. And I tell you, this Edgewood crowd is not out of it. They're still cheering.
You have to take your hats off to the Edgewood crowd, JP. You've seen a few people leave, but for the most part, they still down there rooting and tooting for their team.
And this is a bit of a trick play. Pass, that is incomplete. Pelfrey pitched it back to Mason Beck. The intended receiver, number 25, or 29, Cody Hall. Heavy pressure from Winton Woods. That was almost a pick.
That was a great design right there, JP. Great time to run it. They almost completed that pass play right there.
When you're down like this, you'll try anything you can to try and get that. Pelfrey gives it to Pierrat. Pierrat has some room on the left side. He'll pick up about 4 yards on that, up to the 25-yard line. That will bring up third and about 6. 3rd and 5 to go for the Cougars, just inside the 21-yard line. And flags on the play.
Got a little
encroachment there on the Warriors. So that'll be 3rd and inches, we'll say. 7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Wow, this is really.
And they'll give them a first down.
Excuse me, JP. It's really been a fast quarter.
Yes.
Well, tomorrow night, JP, you got Coleraine and St. X going at it. Who you like in that game tomorrow?
You know, they were pretty close when they met during the regular season. I'm going to go too close to call.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, Coleraine had a...
Pelfrey under pressure. He's wrapped up. Big stop from the Warrior defense back to the 20-yard line. So 2nd and a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be some football game tomorrow night between those two schools, you know. And like you said, it's too close to call and anybody can win.
On any given Friday or Saturday night, as the case may be, on the gridiron, you being a coach yourself,
yes, I
know that all too well.
Yes, I am. And actually, we had a really good season this year. The guys did a wonderful job.
Barger up the middle. Picks up about 10 yards back to the original line of scrimmage, just shy of it. 3rd and 11. Third and 11. Starting to feel that nighttime, late fall chill.
Yes, we are, JP. It's getting a little chilly out there, like you said.
Pelfrey and a misdirection gets that to number 22, David Jones. It went from Pelfrey to Pirat to Jones. That gets him the first down and more. Edgewood, 1st and 10 on the Winton Woods 43-yard line. That was a creative play, Mitch.
Yes, it was. Very creative, well designed, and picked up some nice yardage right there, JP.
Pirat gives it to Barger. Barger up the middle, bowls through the middle, down to the 29-yard line of Winton Woods. First down again. You know, Winton Woods has their 2nd string in, though, it looks like.
Well, it looks like you have some players in there on the 2nd string. Yeah. And one of the things, although Edgewood is moving the football right now, you know, time's not on their side. While they're making these long drives, time is elapsing.
And again, the first string's still in. Most of the first string out for Winton Woods. But Edgewood's still trying to click on all of their cylinders. Again to Barger. Barger gets a hole on the left side. He'll pick up a couple yards. Gets it to the 25-yard line of Winton Woods.
And that's what you want to do being a coach, JP. You want to definitely pick up something positive so your kids can build on for the next season.
4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Yes, it has been a quick 3rd quarter. When you get a true ground game going, that clock will run.
And yes, it is doing exactly that.
Pelfrey takes the snap. He'll keep it, looks to pass. He is under heavy pressure. Is he going to get that off? And he'll throw it away out of bounds.
Great escapability right there from the Cougars quarterback, but the thing that didn't really happen for the Cougars is the receiver stayed back instead of breaking long on the play. You know, so hopefully in the future, if they're young receivers, that's something they'll work on. It seems like the Cougars get to this point and just stumbles on the third and long or fourth and long.
Third down and 6 yards to go on the Winton Woods 26-yard line, it looks like. Pelfrey takes the snap. He'll give to Pirat, but flags on the play. And full start called on the Cougars. That'll back them up 5. So third and 12 yards to go. Cougars on their own 31-yard line. Pelfrey in the pistol takes the snap. He'll give to Pirat. Pirat gets nothing on that. Brings up 4th and long. And you're kind of close to that no man's land. But I think at this point, if you're Edgewood, you're going to go for it just to see what you do.
I mean, you have to. I mean, every play and every down should be 4-down territory if you're Edgewood. You need to try to salvage something in this game and get something positive.
So 4th and 12. We'll try to go for it here. Pass is incomplete. Turnover on downs. Winton Woods will take over 1st and 10 with 2.5 left in the third quarter on their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, and right there, JP, I mean, the quarterback had a little bit more time than he thought, and the play really never really developed.
So as everyone takes, looks like an official sort of timeout for the turnover. So I'm just looking to see what all conferences or schools in this tournament come from. Franklin, of course, in the Southwestern Buckeye League. Northwest in the Southwest Ohio Conference. Edgewood, Southwest Ohio Conference, the new one that formed off the split. Turpin, the Eastern Cincinnati Conference. And I believe Winton Woods is the only independent team in Region 8. Winton Woods out the middle picks up a couple yards. About 3-yard gain on that. 2nd and 7 coming.
Yeah, like you said, JP, this is a good time to get your backup quarterback some reps because you never know what might happen to your number one.
Lumpkin under center. That's a give to number 26, Jalen Davis. And he'll get about 4 more yards on that. 3rd and 2.
Yeah, excuse me, JP. One of the things that I really like seeing is, you know, the Warriors got a little, they got I believe he's a sophomore offensive lineman that goes like 6'7". Yes, Noah Hill, 6'7", 10th grader, 280 pounds. So you can see the future of the Warriors out there right now.
Promising future for the Warriors. Lumpkin keeps it, scrambles. He'll get the first down and then some, and he'll be brought down in Edgewood territory, just barely on the other side of the midfield line. And we have an injury timeout as an Edgewood player a little sluggish to get up.
Looks like he's walking off on his own power, JP.
Yeah, maybe a bit of, the old bell rung style happening. And that is number 20 for the Cougars, Matt Barger. Coming off slowly. He plays both ways. He'll play the fullback, but he's also an inside linebacker. Lumpkin gives up the middle, picks up about 4 yards, 3 or 4 yards up to the Edgewood 46-yard line. So clock ticks under 50 seconds left in the third quarter. I haven't seen a post-halftime update on a score in the Mount Healthy game. But if that doesn't change, we'll have a matchup between the 2009 and 2011 D2 state champions next week at a still-to-be-determined neutral site as Woods picks up another 3 or 4 yards. And Mitch, if I'm going to have great confidence in Lumpkin as a backup quarterback if he can lead an offense to do what they're doing just now, get 3 or 4 yards at a time. That is what Winton Woods has been so notorious for, wearing down your defensive line by punching it up the middle play after play as the third quarter comes to an end.
Yeah, and that's what you want your backup quarterback to be able to do. Take the team, lead them on some positive drive, and look like he may be able to maintain the offense.
The closest game in the region is the Northwest game. Whoever wins that game will play the winner of the Turpin-Tip City game. So it's still 28-0 at Mount Healthy. But no, don't see any more recent updates out of Franklin. So Winton Woods still with possession, 3rd and 2 on the Edgewood 42-yard line with 12 minutes to go in quarterfinal action.
Yeah, and I kind of like what the Warriors are doing right now, JP. They have their backup in. They're not really trying to run up the score. They're just maintaining their offense and getting some positive yards.
So as public address announcer introduces the Winton Woods cheerleaders. Mitch was getting a little chilly. Let's see what the 9 o'clock observation was at our nearest airport, the Hamilton Butler County Regional Airport. 34 degrees.
Still good football
That's
weather.
Perfect football. If you're
good.
in November and you want 80s for football, you're looking at the wrong sport, if you ask me.
Still good football weather.
Fumble, and that ball is loose, and a loss on that. After 3, it is still 28-21 Franklin. I just received a text from one of our Waycross volunteers there.
That's still kind of a shock right there. Franklin, that's 28-21 over Northwest.
Franklin was the higher-seeded team.
Okay.
Franklin 9-1, number 4. Northwest 8-2, number 5.
So you just got one win separating both teams.
I found one thing I found interesting. The one thing I like about the Harbins, Winton Woods was 7-3. They were ranked higher than some 8-2 teams. Strength of schedule.
Yeah, and you think about the Harbins. You look at a team like Elder. You wonder, they had somewhat of a good season, but I was surprised that they got into the playoffs this year. like you said, the thing that may have pushed them over the limit might have been the strength of schedule.
And they did get a little help late in the season with Northwest and Mount Healthy losing in Week 9.
Yeah.
That assured them of a home game. They needed that help to get this first round home game. Because you know, one thing, Winton Woods only had 4 regular season home games. But you know, I was talking to on the whole, I think being independent has worked out to their benefit.
Yes, it has. I totally agree with you on that, JP.
And I was talking to Coach Parker and Dwight Campbell, athletic director, about next year's schedule. Last I heard, they only have one open date in, I think it was week 6. And that is stuffed on the right-hand side, a short pass to A.J. Pierrette. He picks up about a yard or 2 on that. He gets it up to the 15-yard line, so a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8 coming up with 10:40 left in the matchup.
That was a nice little short, safe pass because earlier in the game, the Cougars hadn't really been able to throw the football, so right there was a nice little safe pass for them.
So if it is indeed a Winton Woods-Trotwood rematch of the 2009 regional finals, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking I want to be there to see that game. This is going to balls in the air. It's going to be a fight.
Incomplete pass intended for number 29, Cody Hall, and number 25 for Winton Woods on the breakup. Number 25 is Chaz Lumpkin, the cornerback for the Warriors. You know, just in the last couple of days, it's been first day of contact for coaches for the basketball season.
Yeah, and I've seen a number of the basketball players hanging around out there. So, you know, it looks like Winton Woods is going to be off and running with another good season.
Yep. Pelfrey back to pass again, and that is intended for number 3, Mason Beck, but he can't get his hands on it. And again, good coverage by Chaz Lumpkin.
Yeah, Lumpkin was right there, but that was a pass that should have been called, although it was tipped at the last instant right there to distract the wide receiver. You know, JP, one of the things that I did want to mention that, you know, what's going on up on the East Coast, up there in New York, you know, with the flood and Hurricane Sandy. You know, it kind of surprised me that they're going to try to play basketball and football up there this week. I'm totally kind of, you know, thinking that they really should have just took the whole week off and just, you know, just let everybody get the electricity on. And it's, you know, kind of tough to go into Madison Square Garden with so many people still not having electricity, no power, no food. So, you know, I'm still kind of surprised by that.
Cameron Barnes on the punt reception for Winton Woods. They'll take over 1st and 10 on their own 46-yard line with 9:48 left. And again, I think this is just Winton Woods get the fundamentals with your second string.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, JP. I mean, just, you know, you're not really trying to get anybody hurt, but just run your offense. You know, and I know the younger players are thrilled to have the opportunity to get out there and play in this type of game. You know, anytime you can get any kind of playoff experience, it goes a long way.
You know, I was talking with a couple of the fans before and some of the other people around here. Playoffs are special, no matter what, win, lose.
Yes, they are, JP. And anytime you get a chance to make it into the playoffs and you're a part of the team or a part of the community, it's an exciting time for everybody to rally together, you know, come together, and, you know, and support one another, and you know, and just, you know, and support your team. You know, it's just unfortunate down the road. The Finneytown Wildcats didn't make it this year.
Yep. Lumpkin on the give to number 22,
Marcus Davis
Yes,
was
Marcus
dragging
Davis.
everybody with him on that play, wasn't he?
You know, that's one thing Wintwood is also notorious for, is breaking tackles, dragging every single player on the field with you.
Yeah, and that just shows you that, these kids, they come to practice Monday through Thursday, and they look forward to this kind of time out there on the field.
Second and a long one. And again, the give is to Davis. He'll bowl through for the first down. So first down, Winton Woods in Edgewood territory on the 42-yard line with 9 minutes left in the game.
And
No
JP,
scores since the first half, by the way.
Yeah, the fireworks has definitely stopped. And so right now we're seeing another quarterback, I think, in there for the Warriors. Is Chris Sanders, a 5'8", 165-pound sophomore, getting a chance to handle the football.
Yep. And he'll keep it this time. He'll pick up a few yards on that, probably about a 4 or 5 yard pickup. And a flag on the play. This one could be coming back. Holding on the Warriors. Waycross will cover any Winton Woods or Northwest, if Northwest should happen to take a victory up there in Franklin. Any playoff game, as long as we are able to. If you'd like to get involved, give us a call, 825-2429. You can visit us online at www.waycross.tv to find out more information. If I might go back to the Hurricane Sandy situation, we do also want to share our thoughts and well wishes with everyone up there affected. It's it's amazing to see what devastation can be done up there.
Yes, it's just unbelievable. I mean, you don't think about that, up there, up east about, the hurricane part, but, it's even more surprising that, that they're going to play these games this weekend. I thought for sure.
They did cancel the New York Marathon, I noticed.
Oh, did they?
Yes, I saw that earlier.
From what I was hearing, I mean, there was a lot of uproar that it was going to continue because there was kicking people out of their hotels because the people was coming in town for the New York Marathon. But if they did, I think that's a good thing. I think it's also a good thing to cancel the NBA games this week and the NFL games because, like you said, if just one person's still without power, you still don't want to go out there and play like there's nothing happening.
Chris Sanders bowls up the middle, picks up 3 or 4 more yards. Sanders is listed on this roster as a defensive back. But he is a sophomore, so is he going to be the next one after Christian Lumpkin? But they're both sophomores, so is he going to be Christian Lumpkin's number 2 their senior year?
And one of the things that I was noticing about both of them, they go 5'8", 5'9". They're both sophomores, so, I mean, you never know. I mean, I know a lot of people like to have a little bit more height at that quarterback position, but, I mean, with their type of offense, the only thing that matters is speed.
Looks like Malik Hill back in a fullback position as this little pitch out is given to that looked like number 16, Lejean Scott. And I would be confirmed by Kent Schultz, the public address announcer here. 6:40 left in the game, 4th and short for the Warriors. On the Edgewood 32-yard line. And, we can't take anything away from Edgewood. They have played their hearts out.
Yeah, and they just ran into a buzzsaw today, JP. I mean, you come into this kind of atmosphere, and the Warriors was ready to play tonight. I mean, Edgewood just ran into a buzzsaw. Coach Parker had his team ready to go tonight, and it showed. I mean, like you said, early in the first half, 4 minutes of possession time, but you put up 50 points. That's just unbelievable.
Winton Woods takes their first time out of the half in the game, for that matter. Let's go through this first half scoring summary. It's all Winton Woods. 7:42 left in the first quarter. Nick Grissom, 6-yard run. Robbie Lewis kicked good. 5 plays, 78 yards. Time of possession, 1 minute, 1 second. 7-0. 6:31 left in the first. Shamar Hooks, 8-yard run, punches in. The kick is good. Only 11-second time of possession. That puts it 14-0. It goes to 21-0 after Robbie Lewis gets a good PAT after Shamar Hooks' 52-yard run at the 2:43 to go mark in the first. That was one play for 52 yards. That previous touchdown to make it 14-0, 2 plays, 46 yards. Then Tyler Gist gets an 8-yard run with 1:10 left in the first on a 2-play, 25-yard drive. Only 14-second time of possession makes it 28-0. That is all the scores of the first quarter. Shamar Hooks gets a 2-yard run, 3 plays, 83 yards, time possession, 54 seconds, 35-0. Then the next scores, Winton didn't even have possession. 7:08 left in the second. Torres Curtis fumble recovery, but they failed that 2-point conversion. It was only 41-0. Then 4:54 left in the second. They held Edgewood to a safety. Then 4:41 left in the second. Mike Edwards, 72-yard kickoff return. PAT good, 50-0. That is where our score stays. Winton Woods drives forward for the first down. So 1st and 10 for the Warriors with 6:13 left on the 31-yard line. And it looks to me like they've got a third string in.
And that's a good job. You know, you're happy for the kids that, you know, to get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere.
And at home, a home game.
And at home, wow. You know, you look at the sophomores, they get to walk around school a whole nother week with their chest poked out saying, hey, I played in the playoff game. So, you know, that's a good thing for the young kids.
A bit more up the middle action. Get a yard or two on that. Deshaun Snell, number 36 on that carry. Second and 9 with 5:20 left on the Edgewood 30. And you know what? If I'm Coach Parker, I don't care if they score or not. I just want to see that they have the fundamentals.
Yeah,
they're ready to play if they need to go.
Yeah, and that's what you want. You know, anytime you get a chance to put the younger kids in, you want to make sure that that they've been paying attention in practice and that everything is still clicking.
Pick up of about 2 on that. It'll bring up 3rd and 6. Ball spotted on the Edgewood 28. You know what impressed me most about Winton Woods? Their ability to dominate without running that clock. The clock hardly ran for them.
Yeah.
I will always remember this game for that. They scored 50 points with only controlling the ball for 4 minutes.
That's just
unbelievable.
That's just unheard
That's kind of one of those mind-blown, does not compute things.
Yeah, that's one of those things that you just like, wow. That's all you can say about something like that.
Pitch out to number 33, Tosh Ferguson. He'll pick up a yard or 2 more around the left side.
I'll tell you what, Tosh Ferguson shows some good speed right there.
And you know, this gives any college scouters that might be good here a chance to look at some of these younger players. And it's disguising what your first string can do to any Mount Healthy or Trotwood scouters that are here.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you earlier, hey, all them big plays you ran, and I don't run them no more. Because I'm sure My Healthy or Trotwood is going to be looking at tendencies to see when are they going to try to run those type of plays.
Yep. Loss of a few yards. And that'll bring up 4th and 3. You want to go for it, or do you think you might try a field goal here just since you're in no man's land?
It looks like it's changing possessions right there. It looks like
it was a fourth down, so they did try to go for it. .8:53 left to play up in Franklin, 28 all.
Wow.
Whoever wins that Northwest Franklin game will play Turpin. Turpin won 26-3. Edgewood, that is back to pass, but under pressure, passes out, and that is caught. Edgewood has to beat the Winton secondary. He jinks to the left. That is number 29 for Edgewood, Cody Hall, the tight end, and he is down to the 2-yard line.
Excellent play design right there from the Cougars.
do not have a final yet out of Mount Healthy. So we know one of the semifinalist teams here. Edgewood looking for their first score of the night with 3:06 left in quarter number 4. Give up the middle, and he'll punch in, I believe. Waiting for the official signal. Touchdown. Edgewood, touchdown. Give that to number 20, Matt Barger, on a little 4-yard run.
Yeah, and you like to see that in a team, no quit.
So 50-6. And Zach Griffin to kick his first PAT of the night. And that kick is up and splits the uprights. 50-7. And you know, might be 50-7, but it could have easily been so much bigger of a gap.
Yeah, I think that would have been...
I don't like to say it like that, but...
Well, I mean, it is what it is. You know, it could have been one of those Wilt Chamberlain nights for real, 100 points if Winton Woods really wanted to be like that tonight. But Coach Parker pulled back the rein a little bit and just took his feet off the gas pedal and just slowed it down a little bit. And can you imagine putting up 50 points in 4 minutes? So 4 minutes in a 48-minute game, 50 points.
I can't. That's just
crazy, isn't it? So you would have been looking at least a couple hundred points tonight if they would have kept that up.
Yeah. So Zach Griffin now to kick. We've got Mike Edwards and number 24, Nick Grissom, back to receive, but that's a squibber that comes into the middle. Winton Woods takes over 1st and 10 on their own 31. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Parker puts in the first stringers just to finish the game.
No, he's not going to do that then, you know, because that would be rubbing it in. He's just going to let his second stringers finish the game, you know, and give the young guys a chance to play.
If you have the ball in the waning seconds, do you send them out for a victory formation?
No. You keep everybody healthy for a whole nother week. I mean, I've seen players that really shouldn't have been in the game at the last moment get hurt. And no, you just let the young fellas get out there and finish the game. You know, they practice Monday through Thursday with all these guys. This is their time to shine, and you give them an opportunity to do it.
You know what's kind of, the Edgewood crowd's staying fairly well, but look at that Winton Woods side. It is.
Looks like the start of the game.
Yes, sir. Running east to west, gets a yard or two loss on that. Number 32, Chris Sanders, the third quarterback in for the Warriors. A fresh update out of Franklin from Northwest Athletics on Twitter. Franklin's Chris Heimer with a 3-yard TD run, but the PAT fails. 34-28 in favor of Franklin with 4:12 left to play.
Oh, my. Something's looming big in that game, isn't it? A missed extra point. Whoa.
Our good friend Jacob Williams up there, I'm sure, having a good time.
Yes, he is. You know, Jake.
Up for the middle, nothing doing. And a penalty flag with 1:59. Illegal procedure for the Warriors here. So 5-yard loss, and that stops the clock. Second and 17 from their own 24-yard line for the Warriors. still 3rd and 17. No gain on that play as we come to a minute 10 left in the period. I have a text message from one of our volunteers, Hugh Staples. It was 4:12 left in the matchup up there in Franklin. Up the middle is number 32, Chris Sanders. He'll pick up a few more yards. That'll bring up 4th and a lot. And they can work plenty of time off the clock here. And that might make, if they, do you think they might try to go for it just to run the clock off, or they're going to boot it off?
No, I think they might run another play and give Edgewood another chance to get in the end zone. Edgewood might get one more play out of this.
25 seconds left to play, and stopped at the line of scrimmage and behind it, so Franklin will take over for the final play or so of the game. They've got all 3 timeouts, so if they want, they can use them, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just did the one play as a kind of a quiet off end of the night.
You know, and coming down to, the last, you like to try to congratulate the seniors from Edgewood for completing 4 good years at that school. And
yes, sir.
Unfortunately, it's coming to an end. But for the seniors of Winton Woods, they're moving on to the next round. And like you said before, at the start of the program, JP, you lose and you go home.
25 seniors on the Edgewood Cougars squad. We have 17.9 seconds left. Ball spotted on the Winton Woods 29-yard line, 1st and 10, and this may be the last play of this Region 8 quarterfinal game. Belfry takes the snap, airs it out, and that is broken up. Intended for Mason Back.
Yeah, it was a little bit underthrown. Anytime you throw a ball like that, you got to get it at the back of the end zone. Give your receivers a chance to fight for the ball.
11 seconds even left, 2nd and 10. As we come to the close of this matchup. It's all quiet here. Wintonwood's band is lined up on the track, ready to march out after playing the fight song at the conclusion. And Pelfrey takes a knee. Time will expire. Winton Woods advances to the regional semifinal. They will play the winner of the Trotwood-Madison-Mount Healthy game. Right now, as of our last update, it was looking like it'll be Trotwood-Madison. Matchup of recent state champions, the 2009 and 2011 champions. And you know, Mitch, Edgewood, nothing to cry about, nothing to complain about.
No, they don't really have anything to hold your head down about because, like you said, they made it this far, but unfortunately tonight they ran into a buzzsaw, and that happens.
And Winton Woods looking strong.
Winton Woods is looking strong going into next week, so hey, like that, I'm looking forward to next week's game against Trotwood because you got 2 thoroughbreds going at it.
Waycross will attempt to cover that game. If permission is granted, it will be November 9th at 7:30 p.m. at a site yet to be determined. Sites usually announced on the Monday or Tuesday of the week of the game. So once again, we'd like to thank all the volunteers that were here. If you'd like to get involved, give us a call at 513-825-2429 or check us out online, www.waycross.tv. Your final score, Cincinnati Winton Woods 50, Trenton Edgewood 7. For Mitch Mays, I'm John LaPalmer. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Copies of this program are available for $20 each. Send program title, along with your address and check or money order to Waycross Community Media. Attention Dub Coordinator, 2086 Waycross Road, Forest Park, Ohio 45240. Or buy securely on the web at www.waycross.com.